Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to the number 3 Squadron Flight Training School. This time on episode 2, we are flying the Hawker Hurricane Mark 1 late. So in this video I'll be showing you guys the basics of the Hawker Hurricane, which is the first monoplane that you guys will fly after the Gloucester Gladiator once you graduate from that. So this will also be the main, one of your first combat aircraft that you'll use, and once you have this aircraft, it'll enable you to take part in missions as well as participate in other training exercises and teach on the Gladiator. Getting started, so we'll just talk to you about the basics of the aircraft and the main differences between this and the Gladiator itself. So this aircraft has a monowing rather than the biplane style, which first off means that the aircraft will be faster. With the aircraft being faster, this can have pluses and minuses. So it makes it much easier to fight with, makes it much easier to go from point A to point B, but it also makes it much harder to slow the aircraft down. So when approaching, you need to take that more into account. Whereas the Gladiator, you can power the aircraft back and it has enough drag to slow the aircraft down a considerable amount. In the Hurricane, you do need to take time and think about your sort of approach into land, including the circuit diagram that I've gone through with you guys in the previous video on the Gladiator, and you follow the same exact procedures as that. So you just need to bear in mind that when you are taking off. As you can see, the aircraft is now started up, flying this, and it's got a beautiful green and brown livery as well, which is very nice. Okay, so first things first, this thing does have a Merlin in there, so the torque is quite high in comparison. So managing torque on the takeoff roll is essential to fly this aircraft well, which I have not done there actually. I put the rudder the wrong way, so I'm just trying to sort out my wires as well. But yeah, I'm holding it on the two front wheels right now, holding it at max power. Bring the stick back a little bit, and the aircraft should rise into the air. Easy as that. So just adjusting my wires right now. Nice. As you can see, I've pitched the aircraft up nicely, and it is gaining speed as well, so it can climb away very, very nicely indeed. So just once you've taken off, just make sure your gear and your flaps are retracted. Okay, so another point to note about the Hawker Hurricane and the Gloucester Gladiator, the two differences, is that the Gladiator and the Hurricane do manoeuvres very, very differently. So the Hawker Hurricane is much faster, as I said, so it does stall after a much longer duration. It retains its energy much better, as well as spinning. This does snap into a spin similarly, but it does struggle from recovering from the spin. That's what I meant to say. It does struggle a lot more recovering in comparison to the Gladiator itself. The general flying in this aircraft is really smooth, really nice. It's quite a simple aircraft to fly, so you guys should not have a problem with it transferring from the Gladiator to this. In contrast to that though, the Spitfire is much harder to control than this aircraft. This one's much more heavy and burly, so it's much easier to control, but the Spitfire itself is much more lighter and nimble, and it can be quite easily uncontrollable in certain situations. So now I'm just going to bring the aircraft around to the left, and we'll bring this aircraft into the downwind position. So once again, following protocol, I'm going to say red 1. Sorry, training 1 for this one actually. Training 1, right hand downwind to Hawking. So speed's coming back. As you can see, the speed management is in this thing is not that bad. So I'm just going to bring one stage of flap down, and the gear can come down now as well. I have done this a little bit too close in. This is more of a gladiator circuit. That's something you do need to bear in mind when flying the Hurricane as well, that you do need to do the circuit much wider because it is a monoplane and it is faster as well. It's much harder to turn in at low speeds. Okay, dumping all the flap now. Bringing the aircraft round still. Leveling the aircraft there. Just gently flare the aircraft, and the aircraft should firmly touch down the ground. Okay, now they have vacated the runway, turn the engine off, and there you go. As easy as that. So thank you guys for watching the first episode, or the second episode I should say, but the first on the Hurricane Mark 1L as part of 3 Squadron training. The second Hawk Hurricane video, episode number 3, should be out quite soon, and that will be advanced takeoff and landing procedures in the Hurricane. So that'll involve short field landings, short field and long field landings, same with takeoffs, so short field and long field takeoffs, as well as all that sort of stuff. So yeah, and a bit more into the advanced circuit planning as well with the Hawk Hurricane. And then after that we should be moving on to much higher altitude stuff and fighting. So I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.